Well played. It's Viva La Vida, Peak Mornings. Tyler and Elias covering for Lynch. Elias, did you take part in the Sun Run last weekend?
Absolutely not.
Really? You seem like a pretty physically fit guy.
I was working for it. I would have.
You would have?
I totally wouldn't have.
I like your honesty. I appreciate that. I was just reading about this new run they introduced in the States. It's called the Run for Underachievers.
Oh, nice.
It's a 0.5 kilometer run, which... In that 0.5 kilometers, there is a coffee stop, a donut stop, a beer stop, and a smoke break tent.
Ooh.
In the 0.5 kilometer run, which sounds exactly like my type.
Yeah,
of
it seems like
you know,
you do well.
Yeah, I would probably come first, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm pretty athletic. I think I could handle the 0.5 kilometer run. I managed to get some exclusive audio from the run.
Dramatic reenactment.
Oh, yeah. Someone got a light? Franz Ferdinand's Take Me Out, Peak Mornings. Tyler and Lynch. Good. All right, Lynch is away. Elias is covering, but same thing. There's this interesting story out of the States. A couple was busted after they decided to fornicate in front of a kid's playground at an elementary school.
No.
Now, the couple claims they didn't do it intentionally. They didn't know that they had an audience of children at the elementary school they were parked in front of. They thought that they were alone in their vehicle before police arrived. And I get it, you know, you get into those moments, you're just distracted. You know, you got other things on your mind. You're not necessarily looking out the window. You're not looking at the bigger picture. Who hasn't been there, you know?
Not me. What? I've never had sex outside of a children's playground.
I don't know if Elias has had sex in general yet, so we're just going to leave that there.
That's just
now.
rumors. I tell you, fake news. It's not true. I don't know why that went British. Yeah, I do it every time.
One time, this is a true story, and I've told this on the air before, but I doubt you've heard it, Elias.
Okay, let's hear.
I grew up in a really small town, and I read these stories, and it's just like, I don't get it. I'm just like, why don't you just go down a back road like a normal person, you know? Like, that's how I spent my high school years, was in my Sunfire driving down back roads to find dark places.
Wait, you've had sex before?
I've dabbled. Yeah.
Oh,
and the story was, like, we're down this back road with this girl, and all of a sudden, for like... which never happened to my town, a cop showed up and was like driving down the road, and we're like, oh no. So she goes to like put her sweater back on, and then the cop pulls us over and pulls up beside us and makes me roll down the window. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like talking. And he's like, seems like it. And I'm like, okay, like, what are we going to do here? And he looked at her. He's like, I just got to do due diligence. And he looks at her. He's like, are you willing to be here? He's not forcing you to do anything you don't want. And she's like, no, blah, blah, blah.
That's good. That's nice.
And then he looked at me and he's like, are you willing? I know you're willing to be here. And I'm like, that doesn't seem very professional. He then went down to the end of the road, turned around, and then like drove back by us. And when he did that, he turned on his sirens and his lights and started honking the horn and flashing the high beams while his partner leaned out the window and yelled, yeah, buddy! And started clapping for me.
I want to live in your town, man.
Is this very... am I in super bad right now?
You're listening to Peak Mornings with Tyler and Lynch. Now it's time for Peak Traffic.
In Vancouver, there's a crash on Knight Street northbound. That's north of 53rd in the right-hand lane. And out in Langley, a stalled motorcycle westbound on Highway 1 near 232nd Street. The right shoulder is causing visual distraction, so keep your eye on the road and don't be that guy who holds everyone up. Chevrolet Truck Month is back in April. Visit your local dealer to get $11,000 in total savings on the 2018 Silverado Double Cab Custom Edition.
Your weather. You got a high of 18 today. Going to be sunny out. Going to be 22 inland, going down to 11 overnight tonight. And then tomorrow, 13. And it looks like rain for the weekend. 11 on Sunday and also more rain. But then back to sunshine on Monday, they're saying. Currently sitting at 11 degrees out.
In a galaxy far, far away, that's the weather, whether you like it or not.
102.7 The Peak.
Vance Joy, Saturday Sun, Peak Mornings. Tyler and Elias covering for Lynch is off for the day. He'll be back on Monday. Here's an interesting story out of Anchorage, Alaska. A man continued to deliver newspapers to homes on his route Tuesday after he was stabbed multiple times.
Excuse me?
Yeah, the victim's wounds were first noticed by residents of an apartment building. A woman said they found bloody newspapers and a blood trail to the door, prompting them to call the police. They ended up going to check on the guy at his home. He just went home. He got stabbed multiple times. He didn't even go to the hospital. He delivered papers, and then he went home. Police went to his house and immediately escorted him to the hospital. He's going to be fine. Leads me to this.
Pro tips.
Like, if you get stabbed while you're doing any sort of job, you get the day off, you know?
I would assume so.
Yeah. Like, if you become the cover story of the newspaper, you no longer have to deliver said newspaper. I feel like that's a pretty good rule of thumb.
Yeah, that seems fair.
This reminded me of probably the most morbid thing I've ever done in my life, though. In college, I worked at a pub in the kitchen, and I hated it. And I wanted the day off, so I went into work, and I purposely cut my finger with a knife, so I wasn't allowed to work in the kitchen, so I couldn't bleed on the food, and I got to go home.
That's just wrong on so many levels.
It is. It is. I needed stitches. I was a little aggressive
really?
with the knife.
Gosh.
Yeah, like I should have just went for a light slice.
Yeah.
Very morbid. Looking back, that's how much I hated that place.
Sounds like.
I'm just reading, though, in this article, the median salary of a newspaper reporter is $37,000 a year.
That's not bad.
No, that's 10 grand more than I made in my first radio job. I'm just below the poverty line. Sir Slack is high, peak mornings, and Tyler and Elias this morning, covering for Lynch. Yesterday, we discussed this on the air, Lynch and I. What we thought was possibly the most Louisiana story of all time, which the headline just read, lawmakers in Louisiana face backlash as they look to toughen anti-bestiality laws.
Oh, no.
Which means that someone in Louisiana is like, no, we have enough rules about this, guys. Let's not add another layer.
We're good as is.
We're good. And then I came in this morning, found another very Louisiana headline, which is just crawfish escape restaurant and are on the loose. Now, I think the crawfish one might be more specifically Louisiana. I think that could take the place as the top Louisiana headline of the week. Because the other one I feel like could apply to most southern states, you know?
Yeah.
Like not just a Louisiana thing.
It could be parts of Canada.
Yeah.
From
like
what you're saying where you grew up.
Saskatchewan. Like, that actually might be from my hometown.
Yeah.
Like Orno, Louisiana. Just USS.
Now it's time to read the sports.
Brought to you by Diamond Bar Equipment. Expert advice, on-site service, and a full range of outdoor products. See them at 26675 Fraser Highway, Aldergrove.
In hockey last night, the Penguins beat the Capitals 3-2, and the Sharks got smashed 7-zip to the Golden Knights. In baseball, the Blue Jays lost to the Boston Red Sox 5-4. And lastly, in soccer, the Whitecaps are taking on the Real Salt Lake. That game starts at 7:30 tonight.
The Lumineers, it's Ophelia. Peak mornings, Tyler and Lynch, good morning. I don't know if you heard, but it's been a very successful week for Chilliwack. Chilliwack was very concerned earlier this week when they noticed that their favorite taxidermized beaver from their park, Justin Beaver, had gone missing. So someone actually stole Justin Beaver but decided to return Justin Beaver.
Oh, that's nice.
So Chilliwack can rejoice. But also, someone from the island decided, you know what? They read this story online and they had their own taxidermized beavers. So they donated them now. So now there's 2 beavers in the park in Chilliwack, both stuffed, and they're best friends. It's an adorable story, really.
People have too many beavers. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, definitely. Like, how many stuffed beavers do you need?
3, apparently.
If you're in Chilliwack.
Yeah.
The guy who stole the beaver said, is it too late to say sorry? It was a Justin Bieber song title. Oh, it is Friday.
Death from above. Freeze me.
I'm supposed to intro the song, Elias.
Woo!
Okay. Death from above, it's Freeze Me, Peak Mornings, Tyler and Elias covering for Lynch today. He's
What the uck? On Peak Mornings with Tyler and Lynch.
Yes, time to check in with what's going on over in the UK. Always interesting stories coming out of there. And the one I came across today, you might see it go viral. People, for some reason, have been going to Yelp and just leaving bad reviews on the UK as a whole, which I did not know you could review a country on Yelp. This is all informative to me. Some of them are fantastic. Here we go. 1 star. They put pineapple on pizza. Gross. 2 stars. They use flip-flops as winter shoes.
Ew.
1 star. They fill the streets with roundabouts and they do not know how to go about them, leading to a long line of cars without motive. That's frustrating. I get that. This one might be one of my favorites. 1 star. They do not understand Italian. 2 stars. Should just be called All Right, Britain.
That's good. That's good.
This one just says 1 star. Bit rainy. Oh, this is by far the best one. This is from Sarah Keaton. 1 star. Bad. Just says bad.
Peak Mornings with Tyler and Lynch. Peak Traffic. Brought to you by BC One Call. Breaking a gas line can harm the environment and cost lives. Click or call BC One Call before you dig. It costs nothing. BC1Call.ca.
In Abbotsford, a collision on Highway 1 west of McCallum Road along the right shoulder is causing a visual distraction. And in Richmond, watch out for the collision on Highway 99. That's southbound before Stevenson Highway exit in the middle lane. At Mr. Lube, oil changes for all makes and models are warranty approved, so you don't have to go to the dealership for the real deal. Locations at MrLube.com.
Elias, everybody. Green Dance, welcome to Paradise. Peak Mornings, Tyler and Elias is covering for Lynch. So far, I'm a big fan of Elias, except for the fact that he doesn't like Hall & Oates. That seems like a real disappointment.
Just like what my mom said.
I think I noticed one of my favorite things ever the other day. I was at the bar, obviously, and there's just someone getting a drink, and the server came up and was like, "Hey, would you like another drink?" And it made me realize that I think every guy does this. He was like, "I'll take another," and I realized that is every guy ever at a bar. Like every time a server comes up and is like, "Would you like another beer?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Of course you're
It's like, can we cut out the part? Just say yes. We get it. You like to booze, Dad. Here's AJR, Sober Up, on the Peak. The Black Keys, Lonely Boy. I'm not lonely this morning, though, because Elias came in to cover for Lynch. Woo! What a friendly fella. Elias,
Yeah.
you ever hang out at the dog park without a dog?
No,
You seem like the type of guy.
What makes me seem like the type of guy that
You
would?
don't seem like you're responsible enough to have a dog, but you do look like you appreciate a good dog.
I do.
So do you hang out at the dog park without a dog?
No, that's really
Have you
weird.
ever tried that, ever?
I don't want to.
I do it sometimes. People look at you like you are a freak. They're like, "What are you doing here? Get away from my dog." Like they give you dirtier looks than if you hang out at like a playground by yourself as an adult.
That's not right. That doesn't
No,
sound-
people are more defensive of their dogs, I find.
Okay, fair.
And I'm just reading this story about this lady in the UK who went to a dog park and her dog dug up what she believed to be a potato.
Okay.
So she picked it up and brought it home.
As you do.
She then left it on the counter and went to go have a shower. Her boyfriend came home, realized it wasn't a potato. It was actually a live hand grenade.
my, no.
Yeah. So then he like rushed her out of the shower and out of the house, called the police. Everything ended up being fine, which leads to like multiple questions, you know?
Yeah.
Like, first off, why is there a hand grenade at the dog park? I think that's the most obvious question. The real question I have, though, is even if it was a potato, why are you picking it up to bring it home?
Hash browns. Easy.
That's a good point. But do you not already have potatoes? Like, do you really need the buried dog park potato?
It might be better flavor.
Like, is there a famine that I don't know about? Like, what are they? Are they in Ireland?
Peak Mornings with Tyler and Lynch.
Here's the frickin' news.
With Elias.
Some big news involving the pipeline. A National Energy Board inspection of the Trans Mountain Terminal in Burnaby has found that some aspects of the company's sediment and erosion measures were not properly installed. Full report of NEB's finding is expected to be released soon. Vancouver just announced that this week there will be a new Vancouver to Seattle seaplane service. Starts up this week with 4 daily trips happening every weekday. And if you live out in Poco, a new lagoon park opens up tomorrow, that being Blackburn Lagoon Park, which features 1.6 kilometers of walking trails for both you and your little doggo.
Doggo?
Sports shorts.
In hockey last night, the Penguins beat the Capitals 3-2, and the Sharks got crushed 7-0 to the Golden Knights. In baseball, the Blue Jays lost to the Boston Red Sox 5-4. And lastly, in soccer, the Whitecaps are taking on the Real Salt Lake. That game starts tonight at 7:30.
When was the last time you watched a hockey game?
Long time ago, actually.
Peak Traffic. Brought to you by Lowe's. Now through Wednesday, shop Lowe's and get 5 times Air Miles reward miles on all major appliances. See store for details.
In South Surrey, some paving work on 16th Avenue is causing single-lane alternating traffic between 192nd Street and 184th Street all day today. Use 24th or 8th Avenue instead. And in Vancouver, there's a crash westbound to Highway 1 before Grandview partially, blocking the left-hand lane and the HOV lane. Last chance, kids fly, stay, and eat free when you book your Air Canada vacations package to Mexico or the Caribbean. Taxes apply. Visit aircanadavacations.com.
Elias, everybody. Your weather, you got a high of 18. Going to be 22 inland, sunny out, going down to 11 overnight. Tomorrow, 13 showers. Sunday, 11 more showers, and then getting sunny again next week. Currently sitting at 13.
That is the weather. That's the weather. Whether you like it or not. That's the weather.
CKPK, or as we call it, just kidding. CKPK is 102.7 The
Back,
Peak.
it's up all night. Peak mornings, Tyler and Elias covering for Lynch, who is significantly better than Lynch in every single way.
Oh, thanks.
Elias, we talked about this a bit earlier on the show, but the internet, of course, is absolutely outraged, according to blogs, as they are every day, about something ridiculous. And this one, it actually comes from Georgia. They have introduced a $500 fine for sagging pants.
That's awesome.
If you wear your pants too low, you can get fined $500 now, and the internet is very upset. This is a problem that you're never going to have, Elias.
Well, why not? Why can I not have that problem?
Your pants might be the tightest pants I've ever seen on any human.
They are women's jeans for a reason, man.
Do you actually wear women's
I
jeans?
100% wear women's jeans.
For the fit?
For the fit. They're,
So
dude.
can we introduce a $500 fine for pants that are too tight?
No.
I feel
Please.
like the Peak Studio has that. I don't know if you saw, there's a bylaw sign right outside the door. That's already been a thing, so.
I guess you doing the traffic then.
You know what? I take it back. I'd rather not do the traffic. All I can picture is like this guy's a lawmaker down in Georgia now.
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.